Alright, so today we are going to cover how to make a line chart in Google Sheets. I already have some data here, sales numbers for 3 imaginary employees over a 5-day period. Now, if I want to add a line chart, I can either go to Insert and Chart or to this Chart button here. You can see once I click it, I have a relatively usable line chart come up. It's kind of squished together and hard to read. We are going to fix that, but first I want to change this to sales numbers for January 1 to 5. That makes a bit more sense than John, Jane, and Robert. Let's go to chart style first. You have a few options. You can change the background color, the chart border color. I kind of like those where they are. Smoothing makes the lines round instead of jagged. I kind of like this. I think I'll leave it. And then I'm going to take away all of this excess border space by hitting this maximize button. If you've got certain lines blank, like let's delete this, you can go over here and let me get back to chart style. You can plot null values, and that will take away some of this weirdness that happens when you've got blank data. So I'm just going to add this. And we can also edit the chart title from this chart and axis titles thing, as well as change the color for it. I like it black a bit better. And change the font size if you want. Make it bold. In series, we have also a few useful options. You can add error bars. You can add data labels. It does make it a bit messy, though you do get the ability to see the specific numbers for each person for each day. I'm not going to use this just because it does make it messy. We can also add a trend line to see more or less how people's numbers are progressing over time. And then you can change the specifics of how the trend line is going to work for your chart. I'm not going to have a trend line, and let's go ahead and close series. Under legend, you basically can just change where it's positioned, how big it is, and whether it's bold or not. I think it's fine where it is over here, so I'm just going to close this. The horizontal axis, if you want to make the left side the bottom and the right side the top, instead of going from January 1st at the top over to January 5th, you can do this reverse axis order. I don't think it makes sense for a sales numbers chart where we're showing progression from the beginning of the year to the 5th of January. So I'm going to go over to vertical axis where we have the options that we actually want to use. What I'm going to do here is switch this over to log scale, and by default you can see all of this space down here, and 0 to 500 takes up the same amount of space as 500 to 1000, takes up the same amount of space as 1000 to 1500, and so on. Once I switch this over to log scale, you can see all of the blank space at the bottom of the chart is gone, and the higher numbers don't go up as far because we have more space dedicated to these smaller numbers here where most of our data is. If I wanted to further compress this down, I could cut the chart off at, like, say, $800, and then Robert's last day just goes off into space. That does make it a bit nicer, but I think that even without this, the chart is more than readable just with the log scale combined with the maximize option up here. So I'm just going to take a final look at this. We can also do scale, so we could do it in the hundreds where this is 6, 8, and 10. representing hundreds of dollars instead of one. I don't think that makes sense for our chart. And then under grid lines, there is not a great amount of stuff that we want to do here. Now what I'm going to do is go up to this menu here. I can either delete the chart, I can download the chart. If this chart editor pane goes away and you want to get it back, I can edit the chart. What I'm going to do here is not download in a PNG or PDF. I'm going to copy the chart, and then I'm going to go over to my Google Docs file. And then I've got a sales report here that you can see. I'm going to paste the chart in, and I can either link to the spreadsheet from this document, or I can paste it unlinked. And in this case, I'm just going to paste it unlinked because I just want the chart. I don't want to link to the spreadsheet. And then from here, I can continue to write the rest of the document as normal. And I've got it just as an image dropped into our Google Docs file. So if this helped you, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for more Google Sheets and Excel tips and tricks. Thank you.